Welcome to the Rotary Club of Fort Worth. So great to see everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Welcome. It's Friday. That must mean that it's the time for the Rotary Club of Fort Worth. To everyone on Zoom, we're so happy to have you here. Everyone in the room, thank you for being here on this lovely Friday. It is my pleasure to introduce Wanda Bonder, the owner of Melt DFW, for our invocation, followed by the national anthem, with a last-minute pinch hitter, Wesley Gentle, with the Arts Council of Fort Worth.
Let us bow our heads and open our hearts. Should any of us be experiencing sorrow, may it not crumble into self-pity. May our heart stay soft enough to keep breaking, as experiencing the light requires passing through the dark. May the higher powers we relate to the most keep our anger from becoming meanness. May we each experience the blessing of our frustrations turning toward justice, not cruelty. Should any of us be experiencing loneliness or isolation, may it be reminded to us we are all complete and whole and perfectly enough, just as we are. Keep us focused on our life's true purpose, to attempt daily to practice extreme kindness, and may we all be reminded to keep our eyes focused on and our hearts open toward, always landing on the target of love. Amen.
Thank you, Wanda, and thank you, Rotary, for filling in. Thank you, Wesley, for filling in for our Rotary National Anthem last minute. All right, folks. Well, it is a tradition of the Rotary Club to all recite the four-way test. As you know, it is the foundation of the things that we think, that we say, or that we do. So if you would repeat with me, number one, is it the truth? Number two, is it fair to all concerned? Number three, will it promote goodwill and better friendships? And number four, be beneficial to all concerned. Thank you. Now it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Joe Michaels, Managing Partner at Solomon Bruce Consulting, for a welcome of our visiting Rotarians and guests. And we do have a very special guest from a very far place that will be our long-distance Rotarian. Dr. Michaels?
Thank you, Mr. President. It is indeed a privilege and pleasure to introduce all of the visiting Rotarians that we have and guests that we have here today. Laura Acton is here with Carlo Capua. Laura? Gary Davis is here, brought by Carlo as well. Gary? Melissa Rankin is with us, with John Laudenslager. Melissa? Edric Martin came with Mike Brown. Don Click brought Julie Lugo. Julie? Way over in the corner. All right, good. Jennifer Bagg is here with Bill Fairley with the Fairley Wealth Management Firm. Where is Bill? A retired Navy captain and former club member, T.D. Byers, is with us today with John Wright. Captain retired Spires is the new CEO at Simple Leadership Strategies, and we're glad to have him back. Willie Rankin is here with Michelle Krim. Willie? Jennifer Boggs is here. Jennifer? Carlo brought Matt Sylvia as well. Matt? Oh, there's Matt way over here. From the Mansfield Club, we're fortunate to have Chris Bergen. Chris? We could not be more fortunate today, on this day in October, to have our past district governor from District 5790, Jim Anna from Abilene, Texas. Jim? Mr. President, I'll turn the podium back to you to introduce our visiting Rotarian. Marcellus. Marcellus is a graduate of Holy Cross College. He is working as a EDD at Texas Christian University. We're glad to have him. He is a graduate research assistant in the Department of Education. How's that, Mr. Austin? I listened very carefully, Mr. Austin. He's working on a PhD. Most in education get EDDs, but he's getting a PhD. He'll be a great PhD. Carlo, it's yours.
Hashtag mic drop. Thanks, Joe. So we have a long-distance Rotarian with us today. We have Dr. Now, I've been practicing my Russian. We have Dr. Kostya Shestakov. Kostya, come on up. He's from Omsk, Russia, has just moved to St. Petersburg, but is a Rotary member from the Rotary Club of Omsk. He is also the Russian section president for Rotary USA Russia Inter-Country Committee, a Fulbright scholar, and teaches Russian and English. He is looking for a club in Fort Worth to join. So we have a tradition in the United States, if we give you a gift, you must join this club. So we've got Kostya, welcome, dobro pazhalovats. And I have a very important question, and I've asked Kostya to answer in Russian. Ты играешь в гольф?
Конечно, чуть-чуть.
Anybody guess what I asked him? Yes. And what did he answer? Yes, of course. Well, we have a putter, a golden putter. It's a tradition of our club to give a golden putter guaranteed to add 3 strokes to your game. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for welcoming me.
Yeah, thank you. Kostya, spasibo. We'll have a membership application for you at the end of the meeting. Thank you for being here. Now, it's the time that most of you have been waiting for, time for the newscast, and to welcome our veteran newscaster, Bill Fairley, financial advisor, Fairley Wealth Management. Bill?
Thank you. Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to put my mask on. My notes. Whoa, what is this? Whoa, who the heck are you? I'm Jim Alston. You're not Jim Austin. Oh, I know. He said he'd pay me if I said so. Oh, dear. Good grief. You know, Mr. Bill, there are 2 kinds of people in this world, do say. Those who hang on every word Jim Austin says, and those who are not Jim Austin. Oh, my good grief. Listen, come on, seriously. Who are you? Are you a unicorn? Why, yes, I am. Thank you for knowing that. Unicorns are very rare, from what I understand. Yes, in fact, we are as rare as a funny newscast at Rotary. Oh, good Lord. All right, look here, man. We got to get this thing going. Are you willing to help me? Certainly, Lord knows you need it. All right, that's enough of that. Okay, let's just look at some of the headlines. How about that? So, I heard that William Shatner, Captain Kirk, from Star Trek, is going into space on Jeff Bezos's rocket ship. I wonder what that cost. Well, I don't think he had to pay. Oh, I beg to differ. He wears his toupee everywhere, so I'm sure he'll have it on this trip. Oh, come on. Not what I meant. Not what I meant. Never mind. All right. It was also announced this week by the Beverage Marketing Group that most bottled water is just filtered tap water. Oh dear. Does this mean there are no Prince Alberts in the can? No marijuana in the pod roast? Oh, okay. Funny guy. Funny Yeni. All right. Also, it was announced that Taco Bell reported that soon you're going to be able to pay with Dogecoin. Oh, fake money for fake food. Very good. Very good. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. There were a couple of very interesting headlines in the paper this week. I thought the juxtaposition was interesting. One of them said, dogs are getting stoned on discarded cannabis edibles. The other one right next to it said, why is my chihuahua screaming at the neighbor? Well, I think that's easy. The neighbor ate his pot. Thank you, JR. Oh my, all right. Listen, it was also announced this week that the United States Postal Service is testing a new service, and that is cashing paychecks. I would submit that they should test delivering the mail in a timely manner and not charging me my whole paycheck for stamps. Well, that's just a good point, indeed. I think you're right about that. Now listen, something crazy happened this week. Facebook and its other social media channels all went down this week for over 6 hours. I heard productivity went up. Republicans and Democrats were getting along. There were no arguments about vaccinations. Science was being taken seriously. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. All right. Hey, calm down, buddy. Hey, listen, that was enough of that. And I think now we can say that's a wrap for us. Say goodbye, Uni. Goodbye, Uni. Thank you.
So I just want to say, direct your attention to the screen. Bill is a financial wealth advisor. So to anyone who actually gave Bill their money to manage, good luck. All right, it's now my pleasure to welcome Bob Byers. He is the director of the Fort Worth Botanic Garden. And if you like bluebonnets, you're going to love this announcement. So Bob, if you are here, please make your way up to the stage. And let's give Bob a warm Rotary welcome. Bob?
Thanks, Carlo. Just to follow up to Sean's excellent article about our workday next Saturday, the 16th at 10 at Rotary Plaza, that we're hoping to see a big crowd turn out to help us plant 4.5 pounds of bluebonnet seeds around Rotary. So that should make a big show. We've kind of refined our techniques from last year, so hopefully it'll be a little bit less work, but you'll get your blood running, and it'll be a great way to get outside and get a little exercise. Just be sure that you dress with good sturdy work clothes, and please bring preferably leather gloves, and also a rake or something similar to that if you've got it. Also, if you happen to have a stiff shop broom, we could use those. So we look forward to seeing you, and thank you very much. And in particular, thanks to all of y'all that came last year, and we're hoping to see you again this time. Thanks.
Thank you, Bob. Another quick announcement, if you would like to help build a house for Habitat for Humanity, we have an awesome Rotary team. Tomorrow morning, and actually we have a number of volunteers that are going tomorrow morning. If you are volunteering for tomorrow morning's Habitat for Humanity build, would you please stand and be recognized? We have a big group. Awesome. And I believe, so Richard Knight has told me we have 3 spots open still for tomorrow, Richard. 3 spots, so if you're interested, go see Richard after the meeting. Again, that's 7:45 a.m. tomorrow to 3 o'clock. It includes lunch. And again, thank you to all the volunteers for that. Now it's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Mark Maurer. He is with Business Development at Tarleton State University in Fort Worth for an RMBA 2022 announcement. Mark?
Thank you, Mr. President. The RMBA, the Rotary Minority Business Award, is in full swing, taking nominations and sponsorships for the April event, April of 2022. We had a great inaugural event last year, thanks in part to a lot of you in this room. I'd be remiss if I didn't point out Bill Fairley, who was also a sponsor. So thank you, Bill, for sponsoring and sponsoring again. So we've gotten a lot of renewals for those sponsorships. But Just as important, our nomination process is open. Everything's available on our website. Sponsorship information, as well as chances for you to nominate your friends in the business community. So come together again in our sophomore effort, our sequel, if you will, and let's make this, if possible, an even bigger and better second year for the Rotary Minority Business Award. I'll be around afterwards if you have questions or sponsorships, checks, right? Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. He also takes Bitcoin. It is now my pleasure to welcome Elliot Goldman, founder of GL3 Partners, for a quick announcement about the fall grants coming up that we grant on behalf of our endowment. Elliot?
Thank you. Super excited. We've got another Rotary grant cycle. It ends October 15th, so you have roughly a week to get your grant applications in. Last cycle's grant applications were fairly large from a volume standpoint, and they usually have a drop down. It's weird how it cyclically does this, but the way it historically works, this is a really great opportunity. I think we only have 2 grant requests in for this cycle. So again, you have 1 week to get it in before we start meeting and looking at that. So just want to let everybody know. Thanks.
Thank you, Elliot. Now we have an awesome announcement with lots of great pictures. Now that we're getting together in person, Greg Carter has just done an incredible job. He's the managing director at WRG with the partnership between our club and the Boys and Girls Club event. Again, lots of great pictures. Please help me welcome Greg to the stage.
Hello, we'll make it real quick. We Care. This is Community Outreach's holiday event. Pictures speak louder than words, I would say. So here's some of the pictures from the past. We build crafts. We come together as a team of 10 on 10 different tables, and we build crafts for these kids. Here's some images from, let me go back one. I think that's Andy Taft right there having a good dialogue about pedestrian walkways. So each group is responsible for helping the kids, chaperoning them, building crafts as they go through the gym. It will be at the Boys and Girls Clubs on the east side, and it's our way of teaching them that to give is better than to receive. So it's December 8th. I'm giving you plenty of notice. We've got a couple of months, so it's a teaser. Like I said, it's at the Boys and Girls Club in the east side. I need table sponsors. I need chaperones. I need carolers and face painters. And that's...
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Next up is our very own Fletch, John Fletcher. He's the president and CEO of Fletcher Consulting Public Relations and has probably the most incredible Rolodex of anyone I have ever met to introduce our chairperson of the day. John?
Today's speaker has played leadership roles with brands that you and I know, like, and trust throughout her whole career, from Walt Disney and The Gap to Sally Beauty and my favorite, Godiva Chocolates, you can tell. And now she's the CEO of The Vitamin Shop with over 700 locations and a massive online presence. She's not just an example of a powerful woman leader, she's an example of a powerful leader, period. She's built her career on 3 things: turnaround artist, keen strategist, and an incredible motivator of her team, because she realizes that relationships drive success. Her name's Sharon Leidy, and she has some strong connections to Fort Worth. She spent almost a decade with Pier 1 Imports as an executive. She was a board member of TCU's MJ Neely School of Business, and she's a non-executive board member of Tandy Leather. She lives here in Fort Worth most of the year and splits time with New York City, but she likes it here better. So also, I don't know about you, but it would take an awful lot for me to leave Godiva Chocolate to go anywhere, but she did, and she's driving success for the past 3 years at The Vitamin Shop. Please welcome the CEO of The Vitamin Shop, Sharon Leidy.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be here. It's great to be, can you guys hear me? Okay, great. Thank you so much, John, and thanks to everyone here at the Rotary. It is great to be home. I do split my time between here and New York City. I will say that I have spent more time in this great city the last 20 months than I have in New York. And it is always a pleasure to be here in Fort Worth and to be with my friends, colleagues, and neighbors. So thank you so much for having me. I also want to thank those that are with us on Zoom today. Thanks for tuning in. And it's, again, just such a pleasure. You guys all have a little care package. Health is important to me. And with the last 20 months that we've had, you have a few of some of my favorites. Some snacks, some vitamins, some things just to kind of help you think of your health, and we hope you'll come visit us in the vitamin shop here in the local Tarrant County area. So all of you in your roles have an important role in your companies, your organizations, and the communities that we serve, and the Rotary certainly is an amazing example of that. So today I'm going to share a story with you about my journey of transformation and the path in which I forged to transform the business that I serve today. The importance of putting the customer in the center of everything that we do, and the role we as leaders have to make a difference. So first, a little background. So the Vitamin Shop started in 1977 in New York City. Our first store is still there on the corner of 57th and Lexington. The Vitamin Shop always prided itself on helping our customers achieve their health and wellness goals long before the words health and wellness were cool. And we did this through a variety of ways. Through the early years, the company was keenly focused on growing its business through its stores and its catalog. And we were early adopters in building out a private brands business. And our first owned brands of vitamins and supplements were launched in 1986. And then 15 years later, we actually got into the sports nutrition business, and in 2001, launched our Body Tech brand. And in 1998, seems so long ago, but it really wasn't, we were one of the first people to go online, long before most people did. The company grew at a pretty modest pace until we went public in 2009. And there was explosive growth in 2009. And post our IPO, we were the fastest growing vitamin mineral supplement retailer. And until 2014 and 2015, we grew rapidly to over 800 stores, over $1 billion in sales, and we had EBITDA of over $140 million. Well, in 2014, the customer changed. Customer shopping patterns changed. There was this thing called Amazon that really took over, and we hadn't invested in that. We acquired a manufacturing business that distracted us. Our business fell absolutely flat. We had no innovation pipeline. Our private brands portion of the business literally dried up, and we were losing share. The company had lost focus. We lost sight of our people, our customer, how to meaningfully grow and connect with them, what our purpose and our mission was, and we had lost our way. When I joined the organization in late 2018, the company was in total disarray. EBITDA that year ended up at just over $60 million. In just 4 years, the company had lost over half of its value. So why did that happen? Well, the Vitamin Shop had always been a place that provided a lot of choices, but it never had its own story. What did the Vitamin Shop stand for? And why should customers shop with us? In the world of democratization of this product category, why did they need to shop with us? Was the Vitamin Shop a brand, or was it a place that carried a variety and host of other companies' products? And how could we demystify this complicated category? What was our point of differentiation, and what was our why? Well, first, we had to decide who we were, who and what we are, as a brand and to define our purpose. And it all started with the customer. We really need to get to know them. When I joined the company, I was told that the customer was predominantly female. That was wrong. We had a company and we had people telling, and we were making decisions based on the consumer was predominantly female. That was wrong. Actually, it's 50-50, half male, half female. So we had no understanding of who our customer was. And so it's so important to know who they are, because in doing so, it helped us know where we needed to go, what we were good at, but most importantly, what we weren't good at. And it helped us determine our path, where our gaps were, and developing that brand vision, because it's the driver behind everything that we do and the foundation of our united commitment to becoming better every day. Well, first we decided we were a specialty retail brand. We weren't an outpost of a drugstore or a food, drug, and mass. We weren't part of Target. We were going to be a specialty retail brand. And it really was all about the connection with the consumer, and that we would exist to nurture the mind, body, and spirit of those who want to live their best life, how they define it. Because for each of us, we're all on our own journey. Our promise is we want to help you become a better you, your best self, how you define it. Because we know that every person in here and every person and customer that we engage with is on a different journey. For some, it's about being fit and getting into the gym. For others, it may be helping an aging parent. Maybe you're interested in the latest health trends. Maybe you're on a special diet, but we want to make sure that we can be there for you. We deliver our promise through our brand qualities of quality, innovation, and expertise. Well, what does that mean? Quality in everything that we do, from how we decide what products to carry, the testing that we put them through, the experience that we provide, quality throughout the organization, and the people that are a part of it. Innovation, not just about developing and bringing innovative products to marketplace, but to invigorating the way we think about the customer experience, and always evolving and changing to be where the customer can connect with us. We expect to lead trends and make sure we stay up to date on the advancements that are happening all around us. And lastly, expertise. Well, why expertise? Because we want to offer the best solutions for you, for our customers, so that we can earn your trust and loyalty. And we want to surround ourselves with the experts that can help us to learn and grow. As a business, you need to know your mission, your promise, your purpose, but you also need to know that it may need to adjust. After reflecting on the events of 2020, we felt we needed to expand our purpose by defining a mission for the Vitamin Shop, which is about real people and the communities that we serve. It's about the importance of our external customer and the importance of the combination of the internal customer. And we fondly refer to our internal customer as health enthusiasts, because we believe, and I believe, that everyone in our communities across the globe is deserving of good health. And this couldn't be more important and relevant than it is today. We are also immensely proud of the unique and diverse backgrounds of the people that make up our community, our Vitamin Shop community. And we believe that the stories that they bring to us make us better, and they are the fabric of our organization. We believe we can do more, be more, and help others on their lifelong health and wellness goals. And inherent in our mission is what we expect in our company culture. Together, we are better. As business leaders, step one, understand your purpose, define your mission, live it, and communicate it broadly. In order to do all of this, I needed a team, and let me tell you, that was a challenge. I am talent obsessed, and I believe that people drive results, not the other way around. And when you work in private equity, or when you're talking to people on the street, And when I was dealing with investors, it was always about what result you were going to get, not how you were going to get there. So the people component is exceptionally important to me. And as leaders, I believe you have to surround yourself with the right people. It's important as a leader, you find people that push you and put you in uncomfortable places. You as the leader have to be willing to grow. You as the leader can't know it all. You as the leader have to hire those that make you better, push you, stretch you, teach you, but are committed to where you're going. I believe that when you hire people, and smart people, it just makes you better. It makes your organization better. And we had a talent gap at the Vitamin Shop. It wasn't that we didn't have good people. We had amazing people. Their heart was in the right place, but we didn't have the right talent for where we needed to go and what we need to accomplish, how we wanted to do it, and the speed in which I was expected to deliver results. I also needed to make sure that I had people around me that I could trust. Trust is so important because I couldn't do everything myself. And if I didn't have the right people around me where I could say, okay, Andy, I need you to go forth and figure out our digital stack, like I needed to trust that he was going to go do that. I don't have that expertise, but I knew and I trusted that he did. To support this, I realigned my executive team and the organization and hired top talent amongst many of the industries that I have been a part of and had the privilege to be a part of. Customer experience is exceptionally important to me. I hired a great colleague from the Walt Disney Company. Merchandising, marketing was necessary. I hired an amazing executive with a background from Estee Lauder and Macy's. I needed somebody I could trust to be my CFO. I hired an executive that many of you may know in this room as my CFO. She was a colleague of mine at Pier 1 Imports. So knowing those that you trust, relationships, hiring experts in your field to bring on your team was so important. They were all focused on delivering and that we would be customer-centric, we would drive technology, but we would do it in a value-centered way. For those of you, one of my favorite that are familiar with the book Good to Great, Jim Collins talks about the importance of people and talent. And he talks about not only having the right people on the bus, but making sure you have them in the right seats on the bus. And inherent in his message around talent is that people, but the nuance of how you get those people, retain those people, and build up their ability to deliver your results is a tremendous importance for anybody in a leadership role. And if you haven't read the book, some of it's a little dated, but it's very, very good. I'd recommend it. So point number 2, talent. Surround yourself with value-centered, best-in-class talent, people that are going to grow, develop, and nurture your internal customer, and help you and the company be the very best it can be. Well, as I mentioned, the business was in disarray, and we needed to reinvent. And concurrent to defining who we were and what our mission and purpose was as an organization, we had to reinvent and transform almost everything that we had to do. And we had to build this strong foundation with the customer at the center of everything that we did. We transformed and continue to evolve the Vitamin Shop to be a customer-first, sales-driving, agile organization that is innovative and executes with excellence. Great ideas are only great if they are executed well. And this organization had not executed flawlessly and didn't really understand the importance of what that meant to delivering results. The foundation and understanding how to execute was so important. We transformed and continue to evolve the Vitamin Shop to be the things that needed to do to really drive the business. We cleaned up inventory, reduced our debt, pruned the unproductive aspects of our business, eliminated the distraction. We drove speed to market and invested in a tech stack that was relevant to take advantage of the competitive nature that we were in. We educated the customer on what it meant to be digital. When I walked down the hall and we would talk about digital, all I heard about was e-commerce. That's not what digital is. So we had so much education to do around where the customer was and how they were engaging with businesses today. We focused on our investments to deliver our products where the customer was, not where we wanted the customer to be. It's very small nuance, but very important. We built repeatable business models so that we could scale, and we communicated them incessantly across the organization and built reward systems to make sure that we had common goals and expectations and that everyone was aligned to where we were headed. We built redundancy. We had no redundancy in our business, and we looked at our risk factors and our risk tolerance and determined where we were vulnerable and did all that we could to ensure we could execute in extraordinary times. The year 2019 was all about building the foundation of people, processes, tech, execution, and setting us on a path to grow the business centered on the customer, internal and external, innovation, great products, digital experience, and putting the Vitamin Shop on the path back to growth. Well, I was leading a public company. I was a new CEO. I had kind of figured it out, and we got sold. And we were sold in 2019 to one of our largest shareholders. And I learned for the very first time what it was like and what the expectations were of a PE company. A little different from my experience of only working for a public company. But I was happy about it. And the reason why I was happy about it is the scrutiny, and for those of you that work for public companies, the scrutiny that you're under and on the quarterly earnings cycle can be very exhausting, especially in a turnaround. Because what happens is sometimes you make decisions that are good for that quarter, but not good for the long-term business. And we had so much work to do on the long term. So I absolutely was happy that we were sold because it allowed us to kind of come out of the public eye. We had to still fix so many things, and we were a teenager. We were still figuring out what to do, who we were, where we were going, but we were headed in the right direction, and we were gaining traction. I was excited about that. The reinvention and the turnaround was underway. Point number 3, make sure your business has a very firm foundation. So, like many of you, I look to a new year with optimism and hope. And at the beginning of 2020, I was so excited about the progress we're making. I had my team, we were getting results, the team was really coming together, and it was fun. I mean, we were having a great time, and the customer was responding. Well, we all know what happened in March of 2020. So one minute, literally, I'm flying around the country to spend time in our stores in California and to also spend time at my first major trade event, meeting our vendors and our innovation partners to talk about this incredible, exciting story that we're on. And the next week, I'm back in New York City. The COVID cases are out of control. We're shutting down. I'm worried about the health and safety of my team. I'm figuring out if I can even get on a plane to come back to Fort Worth. I'm worried about the health and safety of my family, my team. I'm worried about our cash position. I'm worried about how I'm going to keep my people employed. And I'm figuring out literally how to survive. There was so much we didn't know back then, and I was worried. I was stressed out, and quite frankly, I was scared. There was nothing I had ever seen. None of us had ever seen this. And frankly, I wasn't quite sure what to do. But after proper reflection and speaking with my advisors and my team, leaning on them for perspective, and the team that I had assembled helped me with crystal clarity, what we had to do. First, I listened. I had to really listen. Each of us was impacted and has been impacted by COVID-19 that only each of us individually can understand. And when you're leading an organization, You have to understand and be able to empathize what's going on in their life. They can't bring their best to your organization if you don't understand and have an appreciation for what's going on in theirs. And it was incredibly at a very individual level. And at that time, you have to remember, I wasn't here. I was in New York City. It was scary. I live on 52nd Street in Manhattan. It was scary. We were banging the pots and pans because so much was so unknown. It was scary. And, you know, we didn't know what we didn't know. And most of our stores at that time are so concentrated in the Northeast. So I listened a lot. I tried to get the best information I can. We all know what that's like these days. And I thought to myself, and I went back to our core values, who we were. And that's what provided the clarity of where we needed to go. Had I not taken the time to truly listen, I don't know that we would have survived, if not thrived, had I not done that. We pivoted fast, and I mean fast. I and the team, we were so innovative. We dug in deep and met both our internal customer and our external customer where they were. Remember, I'm a retailer. I make my money in stores. I make my money with people in stores. Our e-commerce business, although growing, is still a very small part of the profitability of our business. For our external customer, we shifted our entire content strategy, the vehicles in which we communicated it, the movement to a digital first, because remember, I had stores shut down and we had to pivot so fast to deliver products. We accelerated our e-commerce channels. We launched alternative delivery methods. We launched Instacart in 6 weeks. Something that would have taken us 6 months to a year to execute, we did in 6 weeks. We did so much more. We did and still are having problems with our supply chain, as I'm sure many of you are as well. But we adjusted quickly. We sourced alternative ways to get products to our customers. But at the forefront of everything was our values, our mission, our purpose to serve our local communities however we could. We shifted to buy online, pickup in store. We went to curbside pickup. We did things that we never would have thought of because we were pushed into the situation that we were in. And we talked about it. We lived it. We made our people feel safe, and the customer responded. For our internal customer, our health enthusiasts, we always put their health and well-being first. Health and safety above all was paramount for our people, and it was never in question. We were patient, supportive, empathetic, resilient, and we persevered. We moved to remote work literally overnight. We changed lines on our distribution centers to make sure that we had safety protocols in place and social distancing overnight. We moved so fast, and I couldn't be more proud of the people and the talent and the foundational work that we had done to get us to where we were today, and where we are today. I made some really difficult decisions. I was criticized for it. I didn't waver. We lived our values, our purpose, and our mission. Each of us in this room leads an organization, a department, a business, a strategy, your leaders in the community, whatever it is. Each of you are called to lead. And I would ask you to never underestimate the power of one, you, each and every one of you. John F. Kennedy said that one person can make a difference and everyone must try. And I believe that if each of us did just one more thing to help another, pay something forward, develop future talent, impart our special gifts, and lead by example, others will follow. It's important for each one of us to lead, and there's never been a more important time, in my view, than now. So in summary, my journey of transformation at the Vitamin Shop, define your mission, your purpose, your values. What's your why? Surround yourself with the absolute best talent possible. People that challenge you, nurture you, care for you, people you can trust. Make sure you have a firm foundation. You never know when you're going to need it. And I got to tell you, had we not invested in that foundation in 2019, I probably wouldn't be standing in front of you today. And lead on, make a difference, make tough decisions. Do your part to make this world a better place. Thank you for allowing me to share my journey at the Vitamin Shop this last 3 years. And I appreciate so much the opportunity to spend time with all of you here in this room and on Zoom. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to take them. Thank you. Sure. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned that you had to make hard decisions. You were criticized.
Sure. So with the pandemic, I have and still do take a very conservative view about things that are very popular in the news today: masking, social distancing, some of the decisions that we made around keeping stores closed or opening stores. Depending upon what part of the country I was in, I got a beating. And so we stood our ground. We did not waver. We had consistency across the entire organization. When you're leading over 5,000 people, you can't do one thing in one place and one thing another. It kind of goes back to execution. And I've always believed right now that the health and safety of my people are first and foremost. And I'm going to do whatever I can to keep them safe. It was not popular, and it still isn't. I don't care. We've managed and kept our people safe this entire time, and the business has thrived because of it. Thanks for the question. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I was curious. You talked about power of your differentiators in your stores, and you talk about the background of the personnel in the stores.
Sure.
Training. So when we walk in, what
Yeah.
can we see?
Yeah. So the question was about talent. Sorry, Carlos, I didn't. This is the first time. The question was about talent and what we do to nurture that, and I bring that to the forefront, and who we look for in our people. In our stores, we look for people that love the industry that we're in. We do have a lot of nutritionists, people that are in occupational therapy, people that do come from kind of have I would say the traditional education about the products that we sell. But what I actually have found, and I have found this in whatever industry that I go into, if you find people that are curious, that really want to learn, but love being in the space. I found this when I was at Pier 1 Imports. I didn't have to teach people how to decorate. I just needed people to love home, and I could teach them that. And that's what we do. We have an exceptionally robust education program where we put our health enthusiasts for. They have extensive training for a 4-week program before we allow them to kind of be on their own. Because there is so much to learn, and we consistently educate them on an ongoing basis, because that is kind of what I call our secret sauce, and it's the fact that when you walk into a store, when you engage with a health enthusiast, that you need to be able to trust what you're being told. Thank you for the question. Okay.
Please stay up here for a second. I have a little gift for you. I'll switch my plate. Here today. Great friend. You know, you probably have forgotten, you've probably forgotten more about business than most of us have ever learned. Thank you for sharing your stories. You mentioned about being your best self, and I think that really hits home to the foundation of the 4-way test. So thank you so much for being here. It's a tradition to donate a book to the Fort Worth Public Library in your honor, and in here is a copy of the book plate that will be in the book. Thank you so much. Great to see you. Thank you. That was wonderful. That was just what we needed. Quick closing announcement is don't forget about virtual meeting sponsorships. If you'd like to sponsor a virtual meeting, please see Shanna Saldana, our virtual meeting chair. And we would also like to wish good luck to our in-person Habitat for Humanity volunteers for tomorrow morning. And finally, and I didn't really tell her I was going to do this, but I'm going to spotlight her. We have, as you know, our fearless leader is not here with us today because she is busy somewhere. And I'm going to put her up on the screen. So let's see if we can find, I saw Courtney Lewis on the call. Well, let's see if she's there. There she is. There's our president. So Courtney, tell us, where are you right now and what are you doing? I'm going to unmute you here, Courtney. All right. Give it a try, Courtney. Let's see if we can get volume on you.
There we go. I'm now unmuted. I am in Estes Park, Colorado, with some other Rotarians. Most of them are fly fishing right now. I'm not much of a fly fisherman, so I'm just enjoying the view. Tom Law wanted to see pine trees and mountains to prove that I'm really in Estes Park, Colorado. So yes, we are here having some fellowship in the mountains.
Excellent. And for anybody interested in going on the fly fishing trip next year, what would your recommendation be?
I would recommend to pack multiple layers of clothes. It's a little bit cooler here. Drink lots of water. The altitude is a little bit high, and just enjoy the outdoors.
And one final question: you are coming back next week, right?
Well, Carlo, you're doing such a great job. You might want to just finish out for me.
Meeting adjourned. See you next Friday. Thanks, Courtney.
Bye.